Hey there. Are you ready for success tip number 6 from Dr. Hawkins' 101 Ways to Success? If so, you've stumbled upon the perfect place. Hi, my name is Liz Garcia. I'm your happy host of trumpeteroftruthradio.com on the podcast and trumpeteroftruth.tv.com on my YouTube channel. This is the place to discover what I call the foundational basics and essential understandings for raising your level of consciousness and building a better life. And I support this intention by putting into context where power and truth really exist based on the consciousness research of Dr. David R. Hawkins and the map of consciousness, which is a proven energy scale to actualize your ultimate human potential. And I want to share this book with you today. For those of you that are new to it, this podcast and videocast was created to help all of us understand where true power and truth really exist. And we can stop guessing where it is and just look at the darn map. If you want to change your life, you want to improve your life, look at the map. Let's find out where truth and power really exist. So once a month, I do 101 ways to success, happiness, or inner peace. And Dr. Hawkins has a book called The Book of Slides, which is, I'll show it to you for those of you viewing. The Book of Slides, which is the complete collection presented at Dr. Hawkins' lectures from 2002 to 2011, and he did lectures on 101 ways to success and happiness and inner peace. So I mix them up every week so you can kind of get a nice blend of, how do you go about being happy and successful and having inner peace? And one of those is going to really resonate with you, and you can just stick with that one when it comes to any of those topics. And Dr. Hawkins has suggested just find one thing that you can be disciplined about and just do it. So understanding 101 ways to success, number 6, he speaks about success as prominence, media traction, and celebrity status. What is that really? Now, according to Consciousness Calibration's worldly success, calibrates at 375 on the map of consciousness, which is of super high consciousness. However, there is more than enough celebrities out there that it's interesting to understand that what they do, let's say it's an actor, their mastery at acting can be high, like 450 is the mastery of anything. I think it's 450 or 460, one or the other, either one. One's mastery, one's excellence at what you do. But their level of consciousness as a person or personality can be of lower consciousness. So celebrity can have its downfall in that it's kind of like an addiction. You have all this adoration and admiration, and it pumps up your ego, and you're like, oh, I like this. But the downfall of that is that you think you have to be propped up by the outer world, accepting you and loving you and all this, when you're at peace with your own existence and your own way of being. You don't need anything external to you to be of higher consciousness and enjoy your life. So I think what Dr. Hawkins is suggesting here is let go of thinking that you have to be prominent, you have to be a celebrity, or you have to be a media attraction at all. Because there is a downward side to media attention. And I'm going to just read from his book. And it sucks you in without realizing it. And what can happen is you could be operating on lower levels of consciousness, which we all are, about ourselves. That there's some level of unworthiness, not good enough, whatever it may be. And to get all this attention makes you feel good. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel like you're worthy and meaningful. But the minute you stop getting the media attention, you fall off the media bandwagon and you go crashing into lower consciousness of unworthiness and not enoughness and whatever it may be. You'll start, the negative programs you may have not addressed throughout your life will really start to kick in because you're swinging from this high of media attention and fame and fortune to this low of not good enough. And without, in the absence of self-awareness and your own sense of self, it can bring you down into a negative spiral. And he talks about rock stars. It's pretty interesting that he puts it into context for us, that you can understand why all the rock stars and all of them get into drugs. Because at the end of a show, as an example, you're in front of this huge audience, you're singing, you're dancing, people are loving you, you're having a good time, and then the show's over. So what do? You go in the back with the crew and you get all high and drugged out and drunk and ridiculous. And if you've ever watched, what reels on TV, or what was that one, Behind the Band, or I forget what it was called, but every single one of them had these horrific like drug addictions. And that's the lack of awareness, self-awareness, and not understanding, you're giving your power away to the audience that's loving on you. You're not kind of owning your own sense of self and just appreciating that you have this gift of singing or playing a music or entertaining people, whatever it is. And in the absence of self-awareness and the ability, some type of emotional intelligence, you could easily succumb to this fame and glamour are lower consciousness. And it's really the unworthiness, as teenagers, we all want to be famous, rich and famous, because we all feel unworthy at some level. And that's the answer to it. It's the leap into the answer when, and I've experienced this myself, I understand, when you're feeling that unworthy, you just want to leap into something that'll make you feel better. This happens with alcohol. There's some level of unworthiness running and you want to leap. It's the same thing into prominence, like by feeling better and being drunk. There's some level that you feel better. So anyway, success, you want to let go of the world's view of success, of being prominent, celebrity, famous, and glamorous. Let that go. And realize that success comes from an inner sense of self, an inner appreciation for the gifts that you bring to this world, and a kind of humility, for sure. Humility is really key. And I got that message recently. I'm a clairvoyant, so I'll see things while my eyes are closed. I'll see words, like I'll get a little ticker tape of words. I'm like, okay, roger that. Humility, I hear you. To be grateful for the gifts that you have and the understandings that you've come to have and the wisdom you can share and the beauty that you share in your talents, and let them go and understand humility. So let go of wanting to be rich and famous, prominent. And if you attract the media, go with it, right? And Dr. Hawkins is like, you don't want to promote yourself. If you intend to be of higher consciousness, you want to allow attraction as opposed to promotion. Attraction is more true because people are attracted to the essence of who you are, what you're saying, the truth about you, right? Whereas promotion is kind of fear-based stuff. And fear calibrates at 100. It's negatively oriented. It doesn't really serve anybody to wallow around in that energy field. So, becoming self-aware, humble, and grateful for all that you are every step of the way, and enjoy each moment, the present moment of building into success, whatever that may be for you. But I guess the lesson here is let go of the whole fame and fortune and glamour thing. That's inviting in negativity and a downward spiral in consciousness. Go for the mastery of what you do, humility and gratefulness that you're able to be who you are, and ride that wave of higher consciousness on your path, your conscious path to being a success in your own life. That's today's 101 Ways to Success number 6. And next week is our weekly dose of higher consciousness quiz, which is kind of a fun one. I really like to look at these calibrations. I think I've done this quiz before, but I think I only did it as a blog post, not as a video, and I really wanted to do it as a video. So next week's quiz asks, which is of highest consciousness? Is it being playful, having a good sense of humor, or hardworking? Which is of highest consciousness? Which serves you most in your life? There are significant leaps between levels of these three, and it's a great exercise for you to feel your way. Like, what do you think is of highest consciousness? You know, these are all higher consciousness ways of being, but what's the order of them? See if you can figure that out. You'll get the answer next week. I'll see you then.